Hello everyone and welcome back to another Schnuckatoo video. Here is a very important announcement to everyone. Talk to your parents more. Okay? No matter what stage of life you're in, no matter how old you are, no matter what you're going through, if anything at all, talk to your parents more. Now why do I say this? Well, okay, I'll admit this might not be the best course of action for every single person out there, right? I don't know everyone's situation, but in my opinion, I think for most situations, there's definitely no harm in at least talking to them a bit more. Wow, this is a really nice place. And I guess I'll explain a bit why. So, I'm leaving for college in 3 days now. And there were a lot of unresolved things I wanted to talk about with my parents, right? And so, like, some of this was like, oh, how do I deal with if I ever come across this scenario in college, or let's say like drinking and drugs, like stuff like that. There's a lot of stuff that I had unresolved with my parents, and I didn't know their opinions on, right? And so, basically, we were watching a movie today, and after the movie finished, we basically kind of just started talking. And like my parents initiated the conversation, but I'll tell another story later on in the video about how you can initiate these conversations too, right? So yeah, my parents initiated the conversation, and we talked for a good like 3 hours, I think. I wasn't really keeping track of the time, but we talked for a good while, and we came to like very good conclusions, and we're in agreement about how all the current issues I'm facing, number one, and like drinking and drugs and all that stuff should be faced, right? We came to a good conclusion. I think we were on the same page, and it just gives me really, really, really good peace of mind, because I think at the end of the day, whether you think it or not, or whether you realize it or not, your parents are probably at least before you go off to college in this stage of life, they're probably the most important people in your life. Whether you like it or not, they raised you probably. I know there are some special cases, but for most people, I think your parents have raised you for what, 18 years if you're about to leave for college, and they know you better than anyone, right? And whether you realize it or not, I think you value their advice a lot, you value their opinion a lot, and you care about them a lot, a lot. Like, I care a lot about my friends, but I think I care about my parents and my family definitely first and foremost, right? And I think that's true for, if I asked any of my friends, they would say that too. And so, oops, that was a bad emoji. And so, like, when you talk to them about important stuff, even though you don't do it often, I don't do it often, when they like agree with you, or when they come to a reasonable conclusion with you, and you are able to talk it through with them, it's like the best feeling ever, right? Because it's kind of like you get validation from one of your most important sources almost. And so it's that's one aspect of why it's good. But the second aspect of why it's so good is because they know you, right? They know who you are. They know how most of you act at home, at least. They know your personality. And so, and in addition to that, they also know, they've also been through a lot of things you're going through right now, right? So they have the experience, and they have the knowledge to be able to help you. Like, I talk to my friends about a lot of stuff, but while they have the knowledge to help me, they know me as a person very well. I don't think they necessarily have the experience. A lot of them do, but I still think the best source of advice is still from your parents. And I think it's a resource almost. I don't want to say like your parents are a resource, but they are, right? It's kind of like a resource that's often overlooked and underappreciated for sure. And so, yeah, like if you have the opportunity, definitely talk to your parents more, and your parents will appreciate it too, because like while you may not feel it at times, they for sure unconditionally love you, right? And the least you can do to return that is just talk about them, talk with them about what's on your mind, fill them in a bit, and take their opinion into account when making future important decisions. And I wish I'd known that earlier, and I wish I'd talked to them earlier about a lot of issues in my life. But yeah, and honestly, at least with my parents, I'm really thankful for this. You guys can judge for your own parents, but I think like no topic is off limits. Like I've told my parents everything at this point about me. And I think for some of you that may be intimidating, or you feel like your parents would be like very annoyed or upset with you. But at least with my parents, and I hope this is the case with most parents, if you like straight out tell them about something, like they will never get mad at you. Like the only things they get mad at me is like if you like preface it with, okay, I've done something really bad, or okay, there's something we need to talk about, it's kind of bad, and like you voluntarily go and tell them and explain yourself. From my experience, my parents never have gotten mad at me for that, and I'm really thankful for that. I don't know how other parents are, but I think that if a parent unconditionally loves a child, which most do, then they will be accepting of the child no matter what they do and what they've done, right? Unless they've like, I don't know if my parents would, if I like murdered someone, I don't know, that would be weird. And yeah, I have not, if any of you were wondering. Anyways, oh look, it's a goat. Wow. Yeah. Yes. Sorry, I feel like I'm a bit more incoherent these days. Just lack of practice, lack of sleep, probably. That's what I'm blaming it on. Hopefully not decline in brain power. Oh, that was another video I wanted to talk about. That was another video. See, my grammar's getting really bad too. I need to read more. Sorry for the sidetrack. Sorry for the tangent. But yeah, I was going to talk about how to start these types of conversations, right? So about a week ago, I think I just like told my parents, oh, I have something on my mind. I'm kind of nervous about college. Can we talk through some of this stuff, right? And like they were really happy to help. They're really happy to talk. And I haven't been talking to my parents that much recently, but I think like they really wanted to talk to me too. And so we had a really nice conversation. Even though like I started a conversation at 1 and at like 5, 4, it was like it really helped me a lot, right? Because I think when you talk to your friends about stuff, right, it helps ground yourself. And your friends give you advice, they console you. You like you become more grounded in your friends' opinions of you. You're like, okay, these people are supporting me. I have these people behind me, and that's like kind of your ground base, right? That's something you always have no matter what happens, and that's nice. But I think the most powerful grounding you can give yourself, other than like yourself, is your parents, right? And so even more powerful than your friends, I think, in some scenarios. Like obviously both is better, but I think at least this year I've kind of like forgotten how grounded your parents' support makes you feel, and like kind of figured out how nice friend support feels, but forgotten how nice parent support feels. You know what I mean? I don't know if that makes sense. So yeah, if you have anything on your mind, like no matter how old you are, or if you don't, just talk to your parents more. I think number 1, they'll appreciate it. Number 2, they'll hopefully have a much more positive reaction than you think they would. And number 3, I think as long as you guys love each other, you guys can get through anything, no matter how what you've done or how bad the thing is or what topic you're talking about. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know if you've been holding off telling your parents something, or talking to your parents about hard topic, or just asking how their day is going, giving them a hug, something like that. Just appreciate your parents a bit more, and know that they're always there for you and will love you. I guess that's the message I want to say to everyone. And yeah, so I hope this video helps, I guess, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Subscribe, all that good stuff. Goodbye.